For my final project, I decided to choose Sonar Treasure Hunt, which is a program uh, from the Create Your Own computer games using Python 4th edition. And what Sonar Treasure Hunt really is it's a grid of 60 by 15, where in 3 spots you have treasure chests. And your goal is to find them by using sonar devices that you put in different spots on the board, and it will tell you either how far away they are if you're close enough, or it'll give you an X saying you're not close at all. So we first start off with the new board here, where we create the board. And like I said, the board is a 60 by 15, where it's stored on a list. And then we use the 2 for loops to get that 60 by 15. And to fill the board, we have either tildes or apostrophes. And to make it kind of more user-friendly, look a little nicer, it just randomly fills each of these spots with one of these at random. The next thing we need to do is actually draw the board, or in this case, the outside bits of the board. So this is to help with telling the user where like 1 through 15, 0 through 59, stuff like that. So in this case, we have this is to help with the range of going from 1 to 6. It would actually probably be easier if I just showed you. So for example, as we can see down here, we have 0 through 9, 6 different times. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to represent. So in this case, it's 0 through 1, and then once it goes back to 0, it's 10 through 19. And this is just to help set up, to help give players a little bit more idea of where on the board this is. And then also we have the 0 through 14 on this axis as well. And these are just axes to help players decide where on the board to place their sonar devices. And then we get to the random chests. So there's going to be 3 chests that is randomly dropped on the board, and the chests are set in a list, and it's randomly randomly chosen on each coordinates where it will be listed. And we have an if statement just in case, because we don't want 2 or more chests falling in the same spot. So if it does try and fall in the same spot, it will redo it again to make sure that more than one chest aren't in the same spot together. Okay. And then this on the board bit is to help the computer in case someone actually, say I were to decide to do like a negative number as my number. It would return it saying in one of these other bits that you can't do that, it's not a valid number, or we'll just say to like re-enter the spot again. So now we actually get to the make a move part of the actual game. So the goal is to have the spot that you choose will be, if it gives you a number, that means you're closest to that specific chest, and it won't mean for any other chest. So in this case, this math equation is specifically for distance, the shortest distance to one specific chest. And the closer you get, the smaller the number will be. And obviously we need to round because we are using whole numbers. It wouldn't make sense to use decimals at all. And the smallest distance will get smaller and smaller if you get closer and closer. And this is to help, and this is what, if you find it, if the smallest distance is equal to 0, then on the board, that means you have found the treasure chest. You're on the treasure chest location. But if the distance is greater than 10, then it'll just give you an X and say that it's not even close to any treasure chests. On the other hand, if it is on 10 or if it is on 9 or less, then it'll give you, then it'll tell you exactly how far away from the treasure chest you are. Then we get into the player moves, which if the player, it'll ask the player to type in a number, 2 numbers, 0 to 59 space 0 to 14, or you can type quit, and it'll use this as input. If you type in quit, it just exits the game completely. If you type in a move, then it'll split the move into two sections, and it has an if statement right here to tell you, like, say I do 0, 0, 0, and I have an X there. If I try to enter 0, 0 again, the if statement would kick in and say you've already moved there. You can't do that again. And then finally we get into the instructions, where it prints out the instructions and gives you a little bit of an idea of what the game is about, what you have to do in the game. And you can, it doesn't do it all at once. You have to press enter again to get the second set of instructions. And then once you're ready, it'll actually print out the sonar game completely. And then we get into the actual game setup, where you are given 20 sonar devices. It recalls the new board, the chests. It does everything that we just went over to create the game. Now, while sonar devices are greater than 0, it'll keep telling you, asking you to put in more coordinates. If the move result equals false, you just continue. Else, the move say you have found the sunken treasure chest. So this is just to say, if you still don't find, if the move set you did doesn't have a treasure chest, you just continue. If it does, great, you have found one, and it'll update the sonar device on the map. And what this does is, if your sonar devices that you've already placed around that treasure chest that you found are close enough to another treasure chest, then it'll update the numbers to where it will tell them that either they're this close to the treasure chest or they're no longer close to any chests. And then we have the printed statements on if you run out of devices. It'll also tell you exactly where the last treasure chests are, and so on and so forth. So let's run this. Oh. So let's say yes, we want to see in the instructions. It's actually, since we've already gone over the code, let's just give this up so we can see. As you can see, we have all the instructions here on what the game entails. Press enter again. We get the rest of the instructions, and then if we press enter again, this is the actual game itself. Now it tells us that we have 20 sonar devices left and 3 treasure chests. So let's go with, I don't know, 14, 3. So that means it'll be 14, so here, 3 down, so right around here is where we'll get it. as you can see, we got a great big old X, which means there's no devices anywhere close to there. Let's go with 13, 9, or 8. Again, nowhere even close. Let's see if we can actually get something on this. Let's go 46, 12. Let's go 33, 10. Okay, so we finally got something. We're within two spots of it. Now it can be left, right, or up and down, but it doesn't really matter. So let's see if it's to the left. So if we did 33, let's try 31, 10. See what happens. Still within 2, so it's not there, so that means it's either up or down. Let's try 30, 11. Still within 2, so let's try 32, 11. Now we're within 1. So let's do 32, 12. And we have found a sunken treasure chest. And as we can see here, we are actually close to another one too. But that's just the game itself. If we want to, now we can just go ahead and quit out if we want. Thank you for playing, and that's my final project for this semester.